Hello. So, what you're going to be watching, or what you may have already started watching, we actually recorded several months ago. At the time, we thought it would be a good idea to put out a video on the situation, what was happening, kind of, crowdsource information, just share what we were going through at the time. The police department of our city advised us not to send that video out. They wanted us to hold that information. Since it was an ongoing investigation, they didn't want people to have information on the case or to potentially change behaviors and the such. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that what you're going to be watching, or what you have been watching, is pre-recorded. It's been a while since we made that recording. And then hopefully we'll have an update for you at the end of this video on where things are going. So thank you. All right, you want to do intro?
I guess I'll do the intro. Bricked up.
Now with more bricks.
More bricks than ever. All right. What's going on, everybody? Sam and Peter here today to talk about something a little bit more sensitive, but still we thought it'd be valuable to bring up. So hope that you enjoy this slightly sad tale, I guess.
We got robbed.
We got robbed. As maybe you saw on social media, we did, in fact, get robbed. Was it last week at this point now?
Yeah, I think it was about a week ago.
Yeah, and this is the tool that was used to do so, just like it was 1800s. Still effective, still breaks through glass apparently. But the robber came probably around like 1 a.m. and they broke in through our main door. And they stole about, how much money of magic would they take?
I don't know if we're allowed to say.
An indiscriminate amount of magic product.
Because it's still an active investigation.
Yeah.
So, but yes, they specifically took sealed magic standard product from one display. We've been kind of talking about it, and I think if we were to rate this person as their skills in robbery, it is like a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, it could have been so much worse than it was. They didn't take any Pokemon. They didn't take any flesh and blood. I mean, there was literally like 151 product right behind the case that they were taking from. So in terms of value, they really undercut themselves of what they could have taken.
Yeah, so we're grateful for that. Like
yeah, very fortunate.
There's a lot of stores that we've seen that have been hit, especially this year, past 6 months in the Chicagoland area, but also, it's always a sad day when you pull up a social media and somebody's like, yeah, we got robbed and they took 6 figures worth of stuff, or they took the entire life savings of stashed away product. And there's a level of feeling violated whenever someone breaks in or steals something or takes advantage of another person. But I think specifically in our environment with the LGS, it's very personal because we literally open our doors to invite people in to spend time with us and to play games and to experience it. So it's not like, not that any robbery or any type of stealing is okay, but I think it hits different than like a Target or a Walmart because we are trying to develop a community.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the next day you wake up and you have to message everybody in your community, be like, hey guys, sorry, we're still going to plan on hosting Armory tonight, but there's no door currently on the front of our business. And people cared. So we always are trying to make sure that we're putting the community first, but in doing so, sometimes you open yourself up and you can be vulnerable to things like this happening. But fortunately, we have taken a number of measures to try to prevent and mitigate as much damage as possible. And, because of what has happened, we were going to be going forward in the future as well with this in mind and trying to be more careful. Fortunately, we did get some video. I don't know if you're going to include anything, but we're going to probably cut into some video and some stuff that we acquired from what happened after the robbery, maybe what was happening during the robbery. But it's always important to have cameras, make sure that you have security set up on your industry, and to be as protected as you can. Because, even in this day and age, as great as our community is, and we're very, very fortunate to have some amazing people in our community within MinMaxGames and just in trading card games in general. But there are always people out there who do have malicious intent and you always have to be as careful as you can, because as good as people are, there are always going to be some people who try to ruin it for other people, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you've ever been to our store, you'll notice that we don't, for instance, showcase our singles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our entire inventory is available online. So if anybody ever needs singles or anything like that, you can place orders for pickup. We can pull them ourselves. But it's been an important aspect of what we do to keep everyone and keep everything safe. So, anything that's of value, we have locked and safe in a place that's inaccessible, right? So we've done a decent job in our storefront to mitigate the potential loss. Obviously, anybody who can grab a brick and can throw it through a window and has 20 seconds can rush into any location, anywhere, and grab what they can in that moment. So, when you look at our show floor and you look at the space and what we provide, you have to be aware of those things, right? Even in the best security system at all, there's always going to be a situation where somebody leaves the door unlocked, or that one day you don't alarm your system, or someone has a brick. So that's an important part too, is like setting up your store in a way that mitigates the potential loss, but also doesn't make your customers feel like you're like when the singles are like behind bars and you've got to like buzz yourself in to get into the next room just so that you can look at the booster pack. There's a balance there.
Yeah, we aren't like a jewelry exchange, obviously, or we're not like your local diamond sellers. But, a lot of the product that we have is comparable to almost like jewelry. I mean, you have products that can go for thousands of dollars at times. And so it's quite valuable, and there's a lot of demand and desire for it. It just might be that a large portion of the population might not know that it's worth anything compared to like diamonds or something. But like Peter was saying, we have a lot of the stuff all throughout our store that's locked away. It's safe out of the open grasp of most of our clientele or anybody that would just regularly come into the store. So it's always good for other stores that are getting started or are concerned about potential robberies to always be prepared for anything like this. Make sure that you have your highly valuable things contained, locked away, maybe in the back, maybe not on site. We also do like to make sure that things aren't on site that are of high value. And then make sure that because after the next day we got robbed, we had an empty case, right? So we still had to find product to fill it. So it's good to be able to have backlog, things that we can have access to refill our cases. So it's not like we have to tell our magic customers for the next week, sorry guys, we have nothing for you because we were completely robbed of everything. So, but going forward, it does make it a little bit more concerning. Some of our employees do work overnight as well. If you guys know Levi, the owl, he does work overnights a lot of times as well. So we're very fortunate that he wasn't around when this happened and was potentially put at risk. So all in all, again, it's always a sucky thing to happen, and it puts more work on our plate, unfortunately. But all in all, we're very grateful that it wasn't a lot worse than what it could have been.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier today, but like the cliche of like, well, at least nobody was hurt. Yeah. But like, that's honestly the biggest deal. Yeah. Like, thankfully, this didn't happen during business hours. No customer was affected. Mm-hmm. The worst aspect of the employees is the aftermath, right? Of feeling like somebody did try to take advantage of our store. And we've got a couple other companies that we run as well. And it was interesting because some of our employees in the other industries were, I think, more affected by it than us because they felt like they were violated, even though they don't work day to day in the store. Yeah. So there's that like aspect of having something taken from you. But yeah, we are extremely grateful that no one was hurt because you got to think about it. Somebody's life was so bad, or they were in such a poor position that they logically thought that their best option was to take a brick and throw it through a door and attempt to steal trading cards for whatever purpose. So this individual is not in a good place, right? There's no way that is like it's 1 a.m. and it's a Tuesday, so like let's go get some bricks. Yeah, that's not a normal thing. So we're very grateful that this individual didn't choose to become violent or to put people in positions that are dangerous. So we're grateful for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, going forward, we're going to keep retaining the same quality that we would usually for our business. We're going to keep treating the community the same way. We're going to keep going about our practices the same way. We just have to be a little bit more thoughtful about the space that we're in. Because now, once it's happened once, there is always now the concern of, well, we can repair things, we can get a new door, but then what happens if it happens again, So we're also considering what our options are, and going forward, how we would like to, potentially run our store, right? How we want to run the company. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, there's so many aspects to running an LGS, and theft and break-ins. That's part of retail. That's just, it doesn't matter what company you work for. It's a concern. It's something you need to mitigate, and I think we've done a pretty good job leading up to this point to make that happen. And I think it was thankfully a non-expensive wake-up call for us to maybe turn it up a notch, do a little bit more. Bam. A little bit more of a, a better job of making sure that everything's being taken care of. But, thinking of like how it affected me personally, I think the worst part was just cleaning up all the glass. Yeah, it was just the inconvenience of like, it's cold outside and I've got to clean up this glass that's everywhere. And now I got to call somebody out and I got to get a new door and we got to get this. It actually turned out really nice, the plywood door that we have.
I like that.
In the meantime.
I would keep that, to be honest.
So, it's got a certain vibe to it for now. But yeah, I think it's just a massive inconvenience that, now we got to talk to insurance companies and we got to talk about all these different things. So it's not fun for anybody. But I think it was, which is also surprising to me because I think Dando can tell you that one of my biggest like dislikes in life is having something taken from me or stolen. So if you've ever done a chargeback, we've gone through that dance. But it didn't really affect me that much as well. I think it was just because it was just like I think I understood that this was a person that was in extreme need to some degree, and I'm just very I guess blessed is a word that I've never been in a situation where I've had to think or resort to something like that to get some kind of money, unless this dude was seriously just trying to rip packs.
That's what I said. I mean, it looked like he came in at 1 a.m. like, man, I really am just trying to do a box opening for YouTube or something, and just like needed his fix. Because I mean, I don't really even know how you would go about reselling that product because it had been sitting there for a bit for us. So if they're trying to make a sale, then God bless you, man. I hope that you do the best you can.
Maybe it's our fault. Maybe we should be open 24/7. We weren't there for the customer when they needed us the most.
So they resorted to alternative measures. Yeah.
Yeah, they did leave the brick though, So like maybe this is the payment. Maybe this is like the form of they're like, well, I did leave a brick.
I was going to say, I mean, at least we have this. We'll keep it as a welcoming reminder, and if we ever go somewhere else, it'll be framed in our store for future reference, right?
I think we get a really nice glass display.
Yeah, I think so too.
Should we bring it to Milwaukee?
Have people sign it?
I think we'll bring it to Milwaukee. I think it'll make its way.
Yeah, well, it'll be with us at most events as a reminder of what will happen.
Get its own display case just to show it off.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, we just kind of wanted to come to you guys, kind of tell you what was going on. The post that was put on social media was pretty widely spread. So just give you a little bit more information about what happened, splice in some footage of what happened on the day of and kind of what it looked like. And then just going forward, I don't know. Maybe we should just throw out the whole store or something. Maybe we should just
quit.
Just quit. Yeah.
Take our dust blades and run.
Take our dust blades. Yeah. I mean, as you can see, fortunately, they didn't take any of the valuables.
Yeah.
So
like I said, locked away, safe and sound.
Offsite.
But yeah, I think when we were talking about like, dude, should we even make a video? Is this something that matters? And I think we try to be very transparent in everything we do, whether that's buying, selling, our vlogs on how events are run. And I think it's very important that you don't just whitewash things and you just show the good. Everyone loves to show their great pulls. Nobody wants to show their box of trash that they spent $100 on, but that's part of the industry. That's part of life. So I think it's important that we also showcase when things aren't great, when things are a little bit rough, or when somebody throws bricks at your store. We decided, let's do this.
Yep. So although it might be a short video, it might not be like anything that you might be looking for content-wise, it's good for us just to have out as, I guess, maybe some historical recap too for the future of MinMaxGames. Yeah. We can kind of look back and see what has happened and what we learned from it, and then also going forward as we continue to grow. Hopefully it doesn't ever happen again.
It was great though, because a lot of our local chat channels, they all like went super deep on like, you guys should run a sale, like a doorbuster sale, or like they went crazy. I'll have to list some of them, but yeah, they really wanted some sales, so maybe that's the
It's the best part about our community. They're always very supportive, you know?
yeah, with bricks.
Yeah, our locals are also really nice. So if we don't, you know, they all were like, "Is everybody okay? Do you need anything?" So thank you to all of the locals again as well, because we always appreciate you and you're very kind and thoughtful. And we still had people showing up to Armory that night too.
Yeah,
even
it was still
after.
packed. Yeah,
So
even without a door.
all good. Everything's still good.
So we'll have a new door in a couple weeks. Until then, we've got a nice, super heavy-duty plywood door and an updated security system, and we're just rocking and rolling. And we're not going to let this, stop us from doing what we're doing, and it's not going to affect us any further than what it has. Besides, we've got a new brick.
Nice. It's nice to have some brick.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time, I think.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Peace, Peter.
Bye. That was good.
End the video. Throw the brick to the camera. So was it missing that piece already, or
that brick off your shoulder?
Nice. Was it missing that piece, or
that piece was outside somewhere,
Oh.
but I threw it out because
dang?
it's like you can't. I'm not gonna glue it back together.
Yeah.
And it kind of has more character now that it's missing a piece.
I just figured. I wonder if it came like that, because that's like I wonder even where they found just like a fresh brick.
I know they went
They
to the
had
brick store
a
and
stock of brick in their
that's
garage.
where it hit the wall.
Yeah,
That dent.
his garage. He's got like robin bricks. Like he's like, all right, today I'm going with this one.
I wonder if during all the construction on the new place.
So first off, thank you for watching everything. This has definitely been a surreal experience for us. It's been several months now since we recorded this video, and quite a bit has changed since then. They now have a warrant out for this guy's arrest. They found out who it was. He's now wanted in several different cities within the state of Illinois. So this is a wonderful thing. This person was caught. They found out through one of the reasons why we weren't allowed to share this video originally was because they were actually in the process of staking him out and watching him do it again. So I guess they got additional evidence or were able to get additional footage of a more recent event and pooled it all together. And so it's like 6 or 7 different cities that he's now being charged in. So like I said, there's a warrant out for his arrest. So once he is caught, once he is processed, hopefully we'll have a little bit more information. I'd love to attend the hearing. It's wonderful that this has a good ending, because I feel like so often people in other stores and other places throughout the country, they get robbed, they get taken advantage of, and there is no closure. You know, for us, insurance paid for everything, the door and then the product that was stolen. So we were made whole already. So that's not the issue here. The issue here is that somebody did something illegal and it affected my company, my employees, and my customers. And I'm very happy that there was a positive ending to this. So those of you at home who are thinking about throwing bricks, maybe you want to rethink it. Maybe you want to make it a different life decision. But we're very happy with the outcome. You know, it's great to see that this is ending, that there's not going to be another person doing this to other companies and stores. And that just the peace of mind that this is not going to happen again. We don't have to worry about it. So thank you guys for watching. And we look forward to the future and all the fun stuff that's going to happen. So thank you so much. Take care.